Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Real Unscripted. I am your boy, Mr. CD. Did you guys miss me? I missed you guys. I do want to apologize. Firstly, I want to apologize to all my listeners for not being available to you guys for the last couple of weeks. I needed to take a slight mental break. It's been a lot that's been going on. So I just want you guys to forgive me. I do. As you all know, I do work for Apple, outside of doing this podcast, that pays the bills. So, I actually have to, go to work. And with most of you know that the new iPhones came out last Friday. So last week was very stressful for me when it came down to that. So as I stated, please forgive me. Also, it's just been a really stressful week, especially dealing with some of the things that I've been dealing with in my personal life. So I just needed to take a mental break. I just needed some time away. It's a lot, guys. It's a lot. And I guess I will give you guys a little bit of that backstory here. Going through a lot as far as with my kids and not feeling adequate enough. And today's episode is going to be about letting go. Yesterday, ended up going to church yesterday, like I try to do on a normal Sunday, and I felt like the message was especially tailored for me. Also, I felt it was tailored towards my niece, and I will give you guys that backstory in just a few minutes here too. And basically, in what the minister was actually saying was basically there are a lot of things that we stress out about when it comes down to relationships, in our personal life, whether that's just friends, even if it's just things with your friends, your family, or whatever the case may be. And one thing that stuck out with me was the bullet points that he actually gave when he was going through and giving this lesson. And one of those bullet points was, we focus on obedience and he handles the outcome. And I have a friend, and I owe her an apology. And I sent her out a text and told her I owe an apology. So if I know she's listening to this podcast, if she's listening to the show, then she knows I'm talking to her. I'm not going to even say any names. But she, excuse me, she basically told me that instead of trying to get back at people, and instead of trying to basically seek vengeance on another person, I should turn the other cheek. And I pretty much told her, I was like, I'm not doing that. Because once you let people get over on you, or you let people continue to do stuff or whatever, they feel like they can continue to keep doing it. And she was like, the karma that God gives out might not come where we want it, but if we let him handle what he's supposed to handle on our end, then it'll be, they will get the karma that they have coming to them. And I really didn't, and I was like, man, to be honest with you, I was like, bump that, I'm not doing that. I'm like, Why am I going to sit around and continue to let somebody continue to keep doing this, and all I'm doing is turning the other cheek, and I'm not saying anything, and it makes me feel weak. And I guess as a guy, it's going to make you feel weak, especially if you don't say something. But it actually makes you the stronger person. It actually makes you the bigger person. And that one, like I said, that one particular thing is like when he said we are supposed to focus on our obedience, focusing on what we're supposed to be doing, not focused on what, oh, well, I want them to get theirs right now. But when he says, come to me and I will fight your battles for you, that's exactly what he means. So we need to let God handle the outcome of whatever happens. And I really didn't understand, like I said, I didn't understand what she meant by what she was telling me until just yesterday. And I think it's a lot of relationships. And as I said, the relationship, it doesn't have to actually be a relationship between boyfriend and girlfriend, husband and wife, but relationships in your life that you have with people that a lot of us need to go back and forgive and reconcile. And a lot of people feel like, oh, well, if they did that, then there's no point in me going back. The thing is, this is the thing. When the point that he made was, you're going through holding these grudges throughout your entire life with these people, or something that a person has done to you, and you're holding these grudges, or you're harboring this anger, and you're harboring this negative energy, and you try to move on. Well, what we fail to realize is that by us holding on to this energy and this negative attitude, we're taking that over into the next relationship that we're going to. We're taking that over too, and that's how people get lashed out on. That's innocent. That's the energy is not even supposed to be meant for them, and it's because we haven't forgiven the person that actually hurt us. And a lot of people feel like, oh, well, they wronged me. But the thing is, what did you do? And a lot of people, they will try to make it seem like, oh, well, I didn't do anything. It wasn't me. But in all actuality, both parties were wrong. And both parties should be the bigger person. Or the adults in the situation and go like, okay, look, I did this. You have to take accountability for what you did. You can't take accountability. You can't worry about if the other person is going to take accountability, because that's that person. But but you can only take accountability for what you do and who you do it to. If you are constantly always walking around portraying yourself as the victim and constantly walking around like, oh, I have done nothing wrong, I don't do anything wrong, I'm 100 about what I do, then that's a problem in itself. That's a problem within itself, because you don't have the mindset to know when you're in denial about whatever you're doing. When you are in denial about a lot of things, you don't see things the way that other people see them, because you feel like your crap doesn't stink. Once you admit to yourself, okay, look, I do have a problem. Look, I do need to let this go. Because the only person you're hurting by not letting any of this go is yourself. And that's something that I had to learn over the years, is that, yeah, me being hurt by this person, is something that it's going to take a while to get over. But if the only thing you're doing is, I can't stand them, and you're going around bad mouthing them, and you're trying to give everybody a bad taste in their mouth about this person, you're only digging yourself into a deeper hole with the emotions that you have. It's only showing people that you're the bitter person and you're not willing to change. You're not willing to work on yourself to actually find out where did you go wrong in the situation? Where did you go wrong in the relationship? Is it something that is worth reconciling? And the thing is, there's another bullet point that he actually came up with that was really great, and is we seek reconciliation. God provides the remedy. A lot of times we feel like we can do everything on our own, and God gave you that free will to actually, to do everything on your own. He gave you that free will to know that you can do things, but a lot of times we go and we don't seek Him. And when we don't seek Him, we end up going about it. You get the results that you want, but it's only temporary. When if we would have prayed about it or thanked Him for, because that's just like with Moses in the wilderness. God told him to go speak to the rock to give the people water. But Moses was disobedient and decided he wanted to go strike the rock with his staff instead of doing what God told him. They still got that water. Those people still got that water. But by him being disobedient, he was no longer able to lead the people to the promised land. See, a lot of times we go out and figure, I'm going to do it my way. When that's not even the way God intended for you to get anything that you're asking for. All you have to do is be obedient, do your part, and God will handle the rest. Like, as I said, I feel like this word spoke tremendously towards me, but it also spoke to my niece, because I have a niece that's going through some things right now, and she's going through it with the little girl, with her group of friends, and we all know how we were when we were young. We have those friends that try to influence us to do things that we know our parents don't want us to do, and it turns out badly for us. Because we were disobedient to our parents, knowing that our parents, a lot of stuff that I'll be honest with you, a lot of stuff that my mom told me not to do, I did anyway. But I paid for it in the long run. Oh, you shouldn't do this. I feel like you should do, but, me being mean, me being hard-headed, I wanted to do it my way. See, God blesses a lot of us with parents with the wisdom, with that certain parent to teach us certain things, to teach us to stay on a certain track. There's no coincidence. A lot of people don't have kids because, and I'm just gonna be honest with you, it's not a knock towards anyone that doesn't have kids, but it's basically some people aren't ready for kids, or some people aren't tailored for having kids the way God wants them to. Don't get me wrong. Am I a excellent parent? I feel like I'm a great dad. Don't get me wrong. But there are still things that I'm learning. There are still things that that